Welcome to Health News and Views, a podcast dedicated to bringing some clarity to the health disparities in the Black and Brown communities. If you believe there's a connection between food, sickness, and health, then you're in the right place. Let's begin the process of unraveling the truth. And now your host, Lynn Pete.
Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Health News and Views, Food, the Final Frontier. I'm your host, Lynn Pete. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to have you. Well, in this episode, we will look at how our diet contributes to inflammation. The NIH, or National Institutes of Health, says that chronic inflammation is the key factor causing almost all chronic degenerative diseases. Now, what is it? Do I have it? Do you have it? Can it be fixed? Let's explore. But first, as always, as a reminder, the data and research provided on this podcast or any of our other published documents is for informational purposes only. Food, the Final Frontier, and our partner, Health News and Views, does not attempt to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or condition. Always check with your healthcare provider before making any lifestyle, dietary, or prescription drug changes. Now, here's a fun food fact. And it's all about apples and your health. Did you know that apples are related to roses? That they're low in carbohydrates and sugar, so diabetics can eat them. The fiber in apples can help with diarrhea and constipation. The flavonoids that's in the skin of the apple can help lower blood pressure and prevent strokes. A 2014 meta-analysis suggests that eating 2 apples a day could reduce the risk of a stroke by almost a third. Fiber in the apples can help keep you full and prevent you from snacking on unhealthy things. Well, you can pick your favorites. Pink Lady, Fuji, Honeycrisp, Gala, Green, Granny, or Gold. So many varieties for you to choose from. Chew that apple to get the fiber and the goodness. For those of you who don't have all your original 32s, do like I do, slice it up in smaller pieces or put it in a blender. Anyway, in today's episodes, we're diving into a topic that affects all of us, the relationship between food, inflammation, and chronic diseases. What is this chronic inflammation? Well, let's unpack this and explore how we can tackle it. Have you been diagnosed with any of these conditions? Rheumatoid arthritis, gout, asthma, colitis, lupus, osteoarthritis, diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD? How about psoriasis, fatty liver disease, endometriosis, obesity, disease of the joints? Well, that's just the short list. There are a host of other diseases and conditions that can be attributed to chronic inflammation. And here at healthnewsandviews.info and Food, the Final Frontier, we want to enlighten, inform, and find ways to maintain and retain and remain healthy. So what is this inflammation we speak of? Well, first, inflammation is a natural process. It is the body's immune response. It is how the body defends itself against infections, injuries, and other harmful stimuli. Consider a bee sting, a twisted or sprained ankle. This is an example of an acute inflammation. That means it happens suddenly. Well, the body's defenses surround the affected area to begin the process of healing. And you may feel heat or warmth to the touch of the affected area, and it may be swollen red or painful. But just know that the immune system is working to make the repair as quickly as it can. However, chronic inflammation is where the real problems arise. When inflammation persists over time and continues to send signals for help, it can contribute to the development of various chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and more. Well, according to the Mayo Clinic, the causes and symptoms of inflammation is not easy to pinpoint. Some experts think that it occurs when the immune system goes awry, and sometimes an ongoing infection or exposure to environmental triggers, such as pollution, can cause it. Obesity, eating a diet that isn't healthy, smoking, sleep problems, and high stress levels are likely to play a part. Chronic inflammation often progresses silently. When symptoms do occur, they can include persistent fatigue. I'm always so tired. Difficulty sleeping. I go to sleep, but I wake up. Joint and muscle pains. mental health conditions such as depression or anxiety, constipation, diarrhea or acid reflux. How about weight loss or weight gain? Repeated infections also caused by chronic inflammation. You seem to catch a cold or a virus at work or school or at a social event, or someone sneezes in the room and you'll be out of commission. If your healthcare professional suspects that inflammation is causing your symptoms, a blood test will be performed. The test measures the level of certain proteins in your blood, and that level will correlate with the amount of inflammation in your body. Proteins in the blood that correlate with the amount of inflammation in the body, or C-reactive proteins, that test might be recommended as well. The test can identify inflammation in the body, but it just can't determine the cause. So, does food come into play here? Yes, our diet plays a significant role. We are either promoting or reducing inflammation in the body. According to Harvard Health, they say there are some foods that you might want to avoid. Refined carbohydrates. Sound familiar? It seems like on every podcast, right? But refined carbohydrates such as white bread and pastries, French fries, and other fried food. Sodas and other sugar-sweetened beverages. Red meat like burgers and steaks, and processed meat like hot dogs and sausage. Margarine, shortening, and lard. Okay, so that buttered toast and coffee creamer I had earlier today are contributing to my inflammation. Well, yes. We must choose wisely, Grasshopper. Don't forget these omega-6 fatty acids that soybean, corn, canola, cottonseed are all high in omega-6 fats and are inflammatory. Canola oil is used because of its versatility, and most of our pre-cooked and fast foods are prepared with canola oil. What would be better? A diet rich in unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. They can help to reduce the inflammation. And these foods are pre-packed by nature with antioxidants. Vitamins, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds help calm the body's inflammatory response. And this is nature's way of combating inflammation. Well, is this the fix? It's part of it. It starts by making healthier food choices, as usual. Some anti-inflammatory foods that you may want to add to your diet are these: tomatoes, olive oil, green leafy vegetables. Does this sound familiar? Such as spinach, kale, and collard, nuts and almonds, and walnuts. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, and sardines. Fruits such as strawberries, blueberries, cherries, and oranges should be added into the diet. It appears that a healthy diet surfaces again. Hey, folks, they all can't be wrong. Let's make a concerted effort to comply. Well, let's opt for nutrient-dense whole foods instead of reaching for that bag of chips or a sugary drink. Let's focus on incorporating plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole grains and lean proteins into the diet. And don't forget about the importance of hydration. Drinking plenty of water can also help keep inflammation in check. Adopting a healthy lifestyle is key, in addition to improving our diet. So let's add in some exercise. Regular exercise can help reduce the inflammation. Stress management techniques like meditation or yoga and getting enough sleep can all help to reduce inflammation and lower the risk of chronic diseases. Here are some benefits of just walking. And I want to thank the walkwithadoc.org organization for these helpful tips on physical and health benefits of walking. Walking it helps to maintain a healthy weight, lowers your risk of heart disease and stroke, lowers the risk of several types of cancer. It can regulate your blood pressure and cholesterol, prevent and manage type 2 diabetes. It can help ease arthritis pain and stiffness. It can strengthen muscles and bones and lowers, most especially for those who are of that age, it lowers our risk of falls because we have a pattern of walking regularly. Mental health benefits. It can help reduce stress and anxiety, lower the risk of depression, improve your mood. It helps you sleep better and improves your energy levels, improves cognition and creativity. It can also, by the way, lower the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. And that was in another study that I read a couple of months back, that 10-minute walk can help stave off the possibilities of developing Alzheimer's. And walking basically improves your overall quality of life. So in conclusion, the relationship between food, inflammation, and chronic disease is complex but manageable. By making conscious choices to prioritize whole, nutritious foods and adopting a healthy lifestyle, we can take proactive steps to reduce inflammation and lower our risk of chronic diseases. Remember, these small changes can lead to significant improvements in your health and well-being. Well, thanks for stopping by to another episode of Food, the Final Frontier. It's always a pleasure to have you. Make it a powerful day. like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And remember, we are what we repeatedly eat. Healthy eating is not an act, but a habit. That comes from Felicity Lucky. Thank you so much for that quote. Do come back. We look forward to having you back again. Make it a powerful day.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Health News and Views. Join us again next time as we continue to explore the correlation between food, sickness, and health. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review for Lynn. She would love to hear your comments. Thanks again for listening, and remember, food is the final frontier.